If you're wondering whether or not New World Aeternum is worth playing for PS5, the Xbox Series, or even PC, then this video is for you. Regardless if you are completely new to the New World franchise, or if you played a little bit for the PC launch, or even if you've been playing for thousands of hours like me, this video will give you some more insights on what to expect on October 15th, the launch date, as well as the many months and years to come as a New World player. Again, I have a lot of hours. You can see on the screen over 4,600 hours in the New World PC edition. So I'm going to be trying to go into this review as unbiased as possible, just to give you my insights on whether or not it's actually worth the $60 or $80, depending if you go standard or deluxe, and what you can kind of expect as a New World player. And based on that information, you should hopefully be able to decide whether or not this game is something you might want to kind of explore and invest in. Before I jump into the specifics though, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I've been making New World content for probably over 2 years now and will continue to do so. Only about 20% of you guys watching my videos though are actually subscribed, so if you like today's video, please consider subscribing because I have a lot more New World content coming your way soon. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the specifics of the game, including what you can expect, what the actual combat and weapons are like, as well as some of the side quests and just side features, such as crafting and cutting down trees, mining ore, and everything in between. So let's go ahead and jump into things. If I had to explain what New World was to someone who never heard of it before, I would probably tell them it's a virtual world for explorers. And honestly, it's a world worth exploring. Regardless if you are a casual player who plays a few hours here or there, or a sweaty hardcore player that can just play right after work or throughout the day and just have a good time, there is something to do in this game. Plus, the overall weapon classes within this game is pretty fun and flexible because you are not locked into a specific weapon class when you start your character. You can mix and match as much as you want as you're playing your character. You can master every single weapon and play around with different builds to really test your abilities and gameplay. You can test your gameplay in a handful of PvP modes or even PvE modes that just increase in overall difficulty just to really test your overall abilities. Outside of combat, there is also a handful of trade skills that you can pick up. There's music playing, there's logging, there's mining, and you can really just pick up a handful of different skills to mine raw resources in order to craft pieces of armor, play the market, pick up gold, and really just max out your character as much as possible. When it comes down to it, New World is a world for everyone, and there is something to do for most players when they jump into this virtual world. However, just the fact that there's things to do does not mean this game is 100% worth it. Yes, you likely will get your money's worth if you like these type of games. Think of old school RuneScape except with higher graphics in a way, and you've got New World. However, I'm not saying this is perfect at all because there are a lot of flaws when it comes to this game. Just jump on the Steam reviews for this game and the PC edition, and you will have a better idea of what I'm talking about. PC players have been playing this game for about 2.5 or 3 years now, and the amount of new content that has been implemented to this game since they started at launch has been extremely minimal. Yes, they've added a new raid boss, and yes, they've added a few soul trials and fun PvE pieces here and there. However, that content comes and goes extremely quickly. So if you're expecting to constantly get new content for a game that you will constantly max out and play for the next several years, then New World might not be the game for you, honestly. Open your eyes and ask yourself if you truly are a hardcore gamer that plans on dumping tons of hours into this game, because if you are, it might lead to some long-term disappointment, primarily because the amount of new content that comes out really does just come and go, and you're going to get a little bit annoyed because you're going to be maxed out in every single piece of content they've got. Don't get me wrong though, there is a lot of content when it comes to this game. Like I mentioned before, there's a whole list of different skills and abilities when it comes to crafting, refining, and gathering resources, as well as the overall weapon and combat play itself. Look at all the different types of weapons that you have to utilize, mix and matching for different types of builds in this game. Plus, each weapon has a handful of different skills, abilities, and passives that you can master, play around with new builds, and really just implement as many different strategies as possible. you will be busy for quite some time. All I'm saying is that after a handful of hours invested in this game, and I'm talking a good handful of hours, you might just eventually become a little bit hungry when it comes to new content. For PC players today, we have not really received new content in several months. And to be completely honest with you, the overall communication with Amazon Game Studios is really slacking. There's a lot of hype regarding new content, and then we typically get let down, and there's very minimal amounts of new content. And when it is launched, typically you run through it pretty quickly. However, the overall experience, the gameplay, the main story quests, the side quests, and everything in between is honestly worth the money in my opinion, and a good time. With over 4,600 hours in this game, please listen to me and do not even consider the Deluxe Edition of this game. If you are considering playing this game and you are excited, that's fine, but do not spend an extra $20 just to pick up 2 little skins here and there. Let me tell you from experience, you will come across hundreds, if not thousands, different types of skins, and you will quickly replace this one if you come across it. Plus, just through doing a handful of different PvE content, you will unlock another handful of different types of mount skins. So again, $20 for 2 skins that are just going to be quickly replaced is not worth it. So save your money. Do not waste an extra $20 on the Deluxe Edition. However, when it comes to the Standard Edition, if you have never played New World before and the overall idea of going through some sort of virtual adventure, leveling up skills, if you were a fan of World of Warcraft or even old school RuneScape, then honestly it might be worth it. I will tell you right now, regardless of how annoyed or pissed off I may be towards the developers when it comes to new content, I 100% got my money's worth. I have thousands of hours into this game. If you take a look at the Steam reviews, yes, there's tons of negative games. However, all of those guys have hundreds, if not thousands of hours invested in the game. So $60, yes, worth the money. I think it's worth the money. Consider purchasing this game if you actually like these type of games. Regardless though, the decision is up to you. The New World experience, I think personally, is a great one, and I know that they invested a lot of time on revamping the overall beginning and leveling process. So chances are, if you played originally when this first came out for PC, the experience will be quite different, and it might be worth playing around with. Again, this is just my personal opinion. Yes, I have 4,600 hours into this game, and yes, I plan on dumping a lot more hours into it too. I am a fan of this game. I think there's a lot of things to do in it. Yes, I am disappointed and a little bit upset though with the developers of this game due to a lack of ongoing new content. However, that's just the way this game currently is. Don't let that scare you though. I mean, if you plan on having some fun with some friends or just exploring a MMO-like game, then consider picking up this game. Go ahead and let me know in the comments though if you agree or disagree with me. Again, this is a pretty big controversy when it comes to video games today, just based on the overall announcement that just came out and just prior experiences with the game itself. Thanks again for watching my video. Let me know in the comments below on whether or not you agree or disagree with my stance on if New World Aeternum is worth the money. Regardless though, if you are a new player that is coming to New World Aeternum, I look forward to you joining Aeternum and also potentially coming across you in future OPRs and 3v3 arenas. Thanks again, and I'll see some of you guys in Aeternum coming October 15th. See ya.